Political analyst Klaus Jurgens in Innsbruck, Austria. Klaus, good to have you on the show. Now, whether it was the maritime agreement or the military cooperation pact between the Turkish government and the government of national accord, the general consensus is that Turkey sort of sped up this process that we're seeing in Libya in terms of bringing the two sides to the table or slowing down Khalifa Haftar's forces as they push for the capital, Tripoli. What type of relationship do you think Germany and Turkey will be playing in this next phase?
Well, good morning. Thanks for having me. I think Libya and the Berlin conference showed that Turkey and Germany have so much more in common as is sometimes mirrored in particular over here in the media. I think what Angela Merkel fully acknowledged in Berlin was, even without saying it perhaps 100% in this wording, that without Turkey's efforts in Libya and the efforts together in Moscow, most likely the Berlin conference would neither have taken place nor have yielded any tangible results. Now, Angela Merkel's visit coming to Turkey is not only based on the outcomes of the Libya conference. This, of course, was planned in advance, and opening up the campus and a meeting with investors and businessmen on the agenda. And then, of course, the meeting this afternoon, I believe at 4:30 with President Erdogan. Now, I think if Angela Merkel tells the EU in no mistaken words about the positive dynamics of bringing stability and hopefully lasting peace one day again to Libya, the EU would gain so much out of this development. Now, unfortunately, not everyone in the EU would see it like this. We remember that, for example, Paris was siding on totally different grounds with different forces in Libya, but it seems that step by step everyone is coming together. Now, this is one of the thorny issues today. There are, of course, a few more others, including Syria and the migrant situation and the migrant deal between the EU and Turkey. But I think Libya has shown that both countries must come together much more closely. And I think the visit today is a very, very good sign.
All right. I mean, you talked about sort of this attempt at a united European stance, but is Germany towing the EU line in terms of its position in Libya? Are they going to be able to keep all these countries, like you say, France, all under one umbrella?
Well, it is not only the Council which, of course, has a lot to say. We should not forget that there is the European Commission having a new president with Ursula von der Leyen, who is actually German too. There could be a totally new dynamics if the European Parliament does its homework, if the European Commission, with its influence over foreign policy making, and of course the actual person who is in charge of the EU's foreign and security policy, would now agree that what Germany did by hosting the Berlin conference and German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas flying to Libya only a few days ahead of that meeting, that Germany means business. And why not accept the fact that the European Union perhaps needs individual member states to push it forward? And why not give credit to Germany for trying just that? Will Paris, will Rome, will London all fall in line? We have to see. But I think it is very worthwhile and in the interest of the Libyan people in particular to actually wish them luck and all success.
Klaus, you referred to the Berlin conference sort of achieving tangible results. My question to you is, with such few monitoring mechanisms on the ground available, how difficult is it going to be in terms of the follow-up of some of the things that came out of Berlin?
Well, there has to be a follow-up, and there has to be a very clear signal coming out of Brussels now. As I said, Germany should actually bring all the other EU member states in line. A follow-up conference is absolutely vital, not to lose the momentum. Yes, I said tangible results. Maybe I am a little bit over-optimistic, but up until the last minute, I was actually worried that the Berlin conference could be called off, and it wasn't. Now, if there is a follow-up, where would it be held, and who would be in the driving seat, and why not leave it to Turkey and to Germany? But we shouldn't forget there is, of course, Vladimir Putin and Moscow. We can't just ignore him, not at all. It's a vital player. Now all of them must come together and then see how can peace be installed. The question I heard again a couple of days ago, should there be sanctions? Should there be a military support force? Even in Germany it is discussed. How could German soldiers, for example, help to bring stability to Libya, and what kind of involvement would that be? The boots on the ground, of course, no. It can only be a humanitarian effort. It can only be safeguarding after that day when hopefully a permanent ceasefire is agreed. It's very tricky. You are absolutely right. Yes, indeed, maybe I'm over-optimistic, but we have to be sometimes optimistic. In Libya, we must stop the bloodshed, and the future of the country must be guaranteed. A follow-up event is exactly necessary, yes.
All right, Klaus Jurgens, good to have you on TRT World. I do appreciate your analysis.